back and forth in my code and my slideshow. Yeah, hello, my name is Arihant, and this is my project, APPO, AI-powered Python. Purpose. Imagine yourself in a situation where you're looking for a laptop to get, maybe for work. But like most of us, you'll probably go onto Amazon and just search up laptops in the search bar. Now Amazon will give you a long list of all the different available laptops that they could provide to you or sell to you. While you're scrolling through all of the different products available, you might get confused over which product is best worth for its like price, specs, and reviews. And for this reason, I created this project to help users find the best quality products for a good price. Also, this project will be using a point-based system to find the best results. During this long journey, I used multiple different packages from transformers, datasets, beautiful soup, fuzzy wuzzy, and TensorFlow. By far, the backbone of this project is going to be beautiful soup. This helped me in collecting data from my HTML file, which is just the downloaded version of the Amazon webpage. I downloaded it so I could make whatever modifications I want to it, or manipulate it outright. I didn't understand how I could make a bot that directly goes onto Amazon and just collects the data from there, so this is what I resorted to. Next, I use regex, and I use regex in collecting the extracted specs from the title section. And in Amazon, when you search up for like a computer, after the name, the specs will be listed in the title jar. And so what regex does is that it finds patterns within strings, and using those patterns, you can do whatever you want. So let me show you guys in my code, and this is where This is where I use regex. What I told it to do is look for these values in the title area, and then store whatever you get into a variable for further usage. You could see it, right? Next, I used fuzzy wuzzy, and I used fuzzy wuzzy to correct spelling mistakes in my collected data, or what I collected from regex. And I use this because, like I said before, I used a point-based system. So like down here, you can see all the different if statements that assign points for the different specs in each computer. So as you know, the if statement, both the value you're giving it and the value the if statement is looking for have to be the same for it to actually count for the points. And that's why I created a huge collection of data over here, which lists all the different specs any computer could ever have. And so what fuzzy does, fuzzy wuzzy uses a term called Liebenstein's distance. And what this does is that the value you give it and the value it's looking for, it tries to find how many characters it has to change in the input value that you're giving it to get its output. And regarding to, based on that, it will give you a percentage score, which you could then further use in the project. And I use this over here, and I told it to look for 75% accuracy or more to change the score, and I told it to correct the terms and tell me what it changed it to and what it previously was. And this also took care of those annoying symbols like the trademark symbol or the copyright symbol. Next, I used TensorFlow. And I used TensorFlow in upgrading the sentiment analysis model with transfer learning. I'll talk more about this model in the coming slides. After that, I have datasets, and in datasets, this helped me in loading the Yelp review dataset, and I use this dataset to train the sentiment analysis model, and I'll also talk that in the coming slides. After that, we have transformers, and this helped me in loading and using the pre-trained model and the tokenizer. So a small definition of what a tokenizer is that it breaks down like a vast stretch of text, in our case the Yelp review dataset, into more digestible and understandable units for our model to actually understand. And lastly, we have JSON, and I use JSON. I had to import JSON because I was returning my outputs into a JSON format so that we could actually understand like all the different values and what's actually happening. And also some additional information is I use a thing called Poetry to manage all my packages. And also I included a virtual environment in this project, and in short, it just makes it easier for coders to add or change things in the future regarding to what they import. Now the pre-built model. Like I said in the last slide, I used the sentiment analysis model, and this model I got off of Hugging Face. So how I use this model is that I also scraped the reviews for each of the products, and so this model basically goes onto those reviews and checks for it looks over it and checks if it gives off a positive, negative, or neutral connotation or tone. Sorry. And based off of that, they'll give extra points to the product, to each product. So the training data, I use the Yelp review data set, and this is also a pre-built data set, and I got it off of the Hugging Face datasets library. This data set is really unique because it uses text complexity and variety, and also covers a multi-domain coverage. All these factors make this data set really essential for making the pre-built model even better. Some additional information about my training was that I used a batch size of 16 for a balance between memory usage and training efficiency. The model achieved a training accuracy of 69.98%, and this program also used the Atom optimizer that has been instantiated with a learning rate of 2 times 10 to the power -5. I did this because this means that the optimizer takes very small steps while updating the model and increases the stability and avoids overshooting. Data sets. Yeah, this is still like the Yelp review data set, but my training process took around 45 hours long, and this was because this data set is quite large. It includes 5 million different reviews, and I used 3 epochs, which is also another way of saying like training cycles, so 3 training cycles, and each epoch ran for 15 hours. This is a nice diagram to show how my code actually flows. And the first section was for training the pre-made model, and the second part was actually assigning the points to each of the products. I started off by fetching the Yelp dataset and breaking it into different sections and cleaning it out. And after that, I started training it based with that Yelp dataset. And later on, I initialized the model so for further usage down in the code. After that, I parsed the web page, the Amazon page, and collected the data from it. I cleaned it using Fuzzy Wuzzy and implemented the model on top of it to check the reviews. And after that, it assigned all the points to each product. For future enhancements, I don't think I'm gonna ever stop expanding on this project. I decided that I would use my own data to train this model that I would gather from the various different Amazon sites that I'll scrape. And this might improve the accuracy and limit overfitting. Also, after thoroughly searching online, I haven't been able to find any data set that are specifically over laptop reviews. So I'm planning on posting this online for other people to use too. Additionally, I want users to have the ability to give a price range or specific price. And my program, my updated program, will have the ability to give them products within what they are looking for. And before I end this, I will show you my output. And this is how the output looks. You first have the title, the rating, price, reviews, and all the different specs listed. And after all the coding process is over, you have the number, the points for each product. And this goes from greatest to least number of points. And there's quite a lot of laptops, so yeah. And yes, that is my project. Thank you.